welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This video was birthed out of popular demand. You asked for it, so I'm here to service you. Social media, it's an issue we can't really seem to solve, huh? The question that was posed to me was, how can we be mysterious on social media when these apps are designed to pretty much get you to willingly expose your personal information at every chance you get as some strange form of complex social connectivity? I mean, how can you be mysterious in an environment like that? Well, let me tell you right off the bat, I don't think it's hard at all. I think it's the perfect environment for mystery, but you have to give up the idea of ditching social media altogether. I mean, that's the ultimate mysterious act, is to just vanish from social media. But if people feel the need to post in order to stay relevant, then I suggest you watch the rest of this video. If you don't want to use social media at all, then I have nothing to say other than to do that, to just not use it. Connect with the real world around you. There are plenty of ways to do that still. We are not completely dead and gone. Society is not completely incapable of making social connections in person. So definitely just find other outlets that work for you and strengthen your relationships in real life. However, as far as social media goes, I am actually a big fan of Instagram with restriction, which my guess is that is the app that we are kind of talking about here that's under scrutiny. When I say restriction, I mean I really try to curate my feed. I definitely try to stay away from the Discover page. I think that's just a waste of your time, especially if you've accumulated people that you really like on Instagram, people that you follow, and you don't really need inspiration outside of those people. Just point blank. My main interest in Instagram is to post my pictures, my thoughts, and only commune with people that I really, really, really like, that I really admire. I literally follow like 80 people, and that to me sounds like a lot. I probably have to purge that soon. And when it comes to everything else, the only other app that I really find that is worth my time is Pinterest. I peruse Pinterest for inspirational images, not Instagram really. And I really try to use social media in the way that I think it should be used: to gain inspiration, to connect with like-minded people, to share your artwork and your creative endeavors, and last but not least, to be mysterious. I use social media to create and to display my preferred persona, the persona that I want you all to know me as. And it's one that I cannot achieve as proficiently in the real world. Truth be told, I think Instagram is the perfect place to be mysterious and to show what you want and to hide what you want. It is, after all, a very image-based app, and images are misleading, period. If you do some research into the iconoclast controversy, for example, where religious images were opposed due to concern of the transmutation of worship from the religion itself to its images, then you'll understand what I mean. Images are too perfect. They're snapshots, just 1 millisecond of your very imperfect life. And that fraction of a second is immortalized and remembered forever for its mirage and not the reality of its creation, just like all beautiful things in general. Social media is dishonest and deceptive. We know that. Yet we pose this question: how can we be mysterious? From my observation, and to my fascination, social media produces the exact opposite result from what we think it does. We think social media is oversharing, too revealing, but everything in its extreme becomes its opposite. When we share too much, when it becomes a compulsion, then we start performing. You see this with, let's say, storytime YouTubers that have made their money off of their crazy stories in their life, but you eventually run out of those crazy stories. So what do? They embellish. They lie. If it isn't performing like that, it's simply just misleading, because the images are always altered in some way, whether or not you pose for an image or you face tune yourself. I mean, we have color schemes for our Instagrams. But that's not exactly what their life really looks like day to day. The reality of our lives is too grotesque, too deformed, or just too boring, and just has no place on social media, does it? We cherry pick, we embellish, we facetune. Social media is the outlet for artifice. And because artifice is augmentation, it is a lie and therefore mysterious. It hides what's beneath. Are you with me? Social media is the perfect place for mystery, no matter how much you post. It's just how you go about it. I'm not saying you have to deliberately lie about your life, but there's nothing wrong with embellishing. Now, I embrace this quality about social media. I think it's a good practice, honestly. I just don't do it in the typical social media influencer way. I love the fact that I can show you all my best moments, my best photos, the best excerpts from the books that I read, the coolest songs I listen to. That's my best work, isn't it? Those posts are mastered and curated for my audience, and I'm very proud of them. I wouldn't post them if I didn't like the way they looked. What I'm saying is, social media presence can be an art form. That's how I look at it. I don't see it as oversharing because you only see and hear what I say you can see and hear. I don't answer questions I don't want to. Maybe you have to dig through my posts, like from years ago, to find the answer. On social media, on YouTube, as you see me right now, this is a perfected version of me. Even the way that I'm talking right now is, I'm scripted. This isn't how I talk in real life. It can be sometimes, but I say and I fuck up my speech all the time. And honestly, my memory when it comes to my vocabulary is not awesome. Right now, the way that I am speaking to you, the way you see me, I am an immaculate figment to you all. Even when I cry, even when I look bad, you see it because I let you. I mean, most of art, again, and beauty exists in this way. The thing that people hate most about social media is that the projected image on there is not realistic. But it is by that virtue that mystery is even possible. And that mystery is amped up to such an extreme that is not available for strictly in-person interactions. Social media is also very interesting, like beauty, in this way. Someone can know you in person, and then they can get a hold of your Instagram or your Tumblr or whatever, and they can still be mystified by you when they look at your social media. I remember this being the case with Tumblr in high school. Tumblr was like an alternate universe. It was the place you could be yourself, or you could be whatever you wanted to be. Finding someone's Tumblr was like meeting their alter ego or revealing the truth behind someone's more formal performance that they put on to be accepted. Like, I remember this with popular girls in high school. They adopted these like insanely depressing, masochistic Tumblrs, like a litany of perversity. Girls with like straightened blonde hair and push-up bras and tans and sweet voices donned Tumblrs with like self-harm and drug obsessions and like hedonistic nihilism. As always, the curated image prevails. Beauty prevails. I can look back on that girl and she is 10 times more interesting to me now. If you feel overexposed on social media, then you're probably not posting the right way. No one needs to see you vulnerable. No one needs to see the ugliness of your life or even all of the parts of your life. No one said you had to tag the restaurant that you were eating at or show the skyline of the city you visited. No one said they need to see that you were at a restaurant or in a city either. Instagram can just be your thought bank. I know mine has always been that more than anything. I mean, it was years before anyone ever saw a full-length picture of my body, let alone my face. I very rarely took like selfies or anything like that. I just posted things that I thought were visually interesting. I shared quotes, I shared art. If something was beautiful and I saw it, I tried to capture it through photos. So if you're an artist and you feel pressured to post all the time, but don't want to feel overexposed, then don't post photos that other people are telling you to post. Like, you don't have to post photos of what you're doing. You don't have to post photos of like your life. You don't have to post photos of you going to that restaurant. You don't have to post photos of you and your friends. You don't have to tell everybody what your thoughts are. You can be obscure, you can be mysterious in the way that you just post images that you think are cool without any context, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Just make Instagram a collage of things that you find interesting. This is also coming from someone, however, that likes to post on Instagram. I find utility in it. I feel like I have valuable things to share with you all, so I don't have as much of an issue with it. I've never felt forced, vain, or revealing. And I don't do anything that would make me feel that way. I personally find posting regularly to be very enjoyable because I see it as an art form, like I said. Now, when it comes to being an artist and your Instagram is like strictly a documentation of your work, I feel you. I understand your pain. My artwork Instagram, I just can't do it. I haven't posted on there in weeks. It mainly serves to me as a kind of portfolio of my work that people can also access through my main Instagram. I feel it's probably better as an artist to merge your main and your art Instagram together so that you can post more regularly. But I've talked about this predicament before on this channel. I hate feeling the obligation to create work because I have to post content regularly on social media to feed the algorithm. I think it destroys any purity of inspiration, and many people, myself included, have posted subpar work just to post. My advice to you would be to have a healthy relationship with your creativity. If anything, make creating art a routine in your life that has nothing to do with social media. Just stay away from social media for a while and say, I'm going to force myself to sit down and create art every 2 days a week and only post work that you're proud of. I can't tell you how many times I've posted a piece because I was rushed or because I felt I needed to finish something and it was shit, and I had to very embarrassingly take it down. Post what you like. Post what you're proud of. If you want more exposure, then honestly just search for resources outside of the internet. Most artists are doing that. There are artists that do well without social media because they have real life shit to take care of that advances their career. That's really all I have to say about that. I wish I could be more helpful, honestly, but I struggle with it myself. I'm happy though that I do have other creative outlets, and right now my artwork has taken a back seat. But to return to the main part of the discourse here, I want to talk about something that I mentioned earlier. I want to talk about obscurity. I think the best way to conquer social media is either to ditch it altogether or to make it work in your favor, reclaim it. The way I do that, and the way that I would suggest you all to do it, is to make it an art form. I don't feel like I'm posting content on my Instagram personally. It is a visual diary, and it's one that adheres to very strict rules. And one of the main rules is obscurity. On top of a platform that I believe is already a very proper environment for mystery and delusion, you make things intentional by being obscure. Be obscure on social media. Stop being so literal with everything. How can you be obscure? Lack of context, baby. No context, nowhere. Post a random photo and don't caption it. Or caption weird shit, an inside joke. Make your entire Instagram or social media accounts an inside joke. No one has any fucking clue what you're talking about unless they're in your group. Unless they just get it. I've had followers and stuff follow me, and I'll post something, I won't say even like who the author is or whatever, and I'll get DMs and they'll be like, oh, that was Oscar Wilde, or oh, that was Huysmans or something like that. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get a very large amount of people, which is not even that large. Like, it's so funny. I have like 500 people follow me, but like, I'm trying to get a large amount of people, narrow it down to people who get it and appreciate the things that I post because they're in the club. Stop putting your city in your bio. Stop tagging the restaurant you ate in. Stop showing the front part of people's faces. Focus on details more. A detail that would only give something away to someone who understood, who got it, who was there, who read that book. Post concerning poetry. Post more art. Post inspiration photos. Take a social media break. Make your followers wonder where the hell you went for months. Archive your whole feed and start over. Change your aesthetic every 6 months. Be obscure. Be unpredictable. Let the postulations about you proliferate because nobody has any idea about your life or who you are. They just can't pin you down. Social media doesn't have to ruin your life. It doesn't have to dictate what you do. You can get trampled by a horse or you can learn to ride one. Maybe in this way, this is a skill that we need to have in our society today. Ride social media like a horse. Be the best damn equestrian there is. Treat social media like a performance art piece. Be an artist. Be remembered for your Instagram. I mean, do you all remember the artist Amalia Ullman? Excellences in Perfections? Amalia Ullman is a multidisciplinary artist who did this digital performance art piece by literally faking a life on Instagram, gaining 90,000 followers in 4 months, and lied the whole time about her life. This happened in 2014, and it was an absolute sensation. She's one of the most renowned artists of the last, 20 years. And So much so, I recently found out from like looking back on it that her Instagram masterpiece, Excellences and Perfections, as Dazed magazine called it, was actually included at a group show at the Tate. Okay, that is a huge deal. That's a huge deal. That's a major institution. Such an achievement. Now, although Amalia's piece was intended to highlight our very unhealthy relationship with social media, I feel that, you could look at it that way, that I don't think that there's really any going back from where we are when it comes to social media. And I think it's time to make it your bitch. I don't really know what else to tell you. You can lie about your life and be a catfish or whatever. I think that's the lower end of doing things. I don't think you have to be deceptive. I don't think you have to lie about your life on social media. But I certainly do not think there is anything wrong with embellishing or trying to perfect your life. You don't have to be dishonest, but you can be obscure. Like my social media, all throughout it, even if it is a perfected version of my life, there is me in it. Everything that I post on there is me, my thoughts and everything, even if it's obscure. Maybe you don't get it. Maybe you don't know where I live or where I went or who I'm dating or whatever it may be. The aestheticization of my everyday life, that is what I want my life to be. And I'm manifesting that through image. And I want you guys all to see that version of me. Maybe I'm sloppier or I'm not as perfect in person. If anything, I've noticed that the aestheticization of my life has actually made my life more beautiful. And I've talked about this in other videos. The curation of your life, aestheticization of your life, those are not evils to me. And the thing is, your real life can be as interesting as what you post on Instagram. The thing is, people think they have to perform for the gram and then they go back to their shitty life. I think you should be doing that all the time. Your life should always be beautiful. Or at least you should try and make it like that all the time. Or at least you should excel and attempt to make your life like your Instagram as much as you can. You're going to be happier that way, honestly, in my opinion. I think living an aesthetic life is a happier one to me, but I also worship beauty, so that's me. You can post and you don't have to post everything. Your real life can have some integrity as well. I think you just need to find a healthy spot in between obsession, posting, going on just looking at your feed, this blue screen for like 8 hours a day, which is stupid, and then just not having it. Just find a healthy spot in between. Enjoy it. I enjoy it. Enjoy yourself, honestly. But my main thing is, as far as restriction goes, just make sure you stay away from the Discover page. Stop following new people all the time, because you're literally you're effacing the people that you were following maybe like 2 months ago, and you're going to forget about them. Just, I guess, be more deliberate when it comes to social media. That's all. That's it. Don't make it a drug. Don't turn it into an obsession in that way. Just like with anything I've ever said, be disciplined. All right, that's all I have to say for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you to everybody who watches my videos, as always, and new people who even make it all the way through. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Please comment. Let me know if I've helped you out in this video, if this was useful to you all. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.